Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button. We have a ton of content coming out for you guys every single day. Certainly don't want to miss a thing. Don't forget to tune in on Thursdays and Tuesdays for our premiere videos with the live chat. Chance to come on in, give us suggestions for videos, any questions you may have, ideas you may have, or just in general BS with us. We always enjoy just sitting there shooting the crap with our fans. So please join us on Thursdays at 6 o'clock. I'm there every single Thursday. Amy is in on most of those as well. And the Tuesdays at 4:30. So far, I have not missed a single one. Work may interfere with that, but I'll always go back and check the logs. All of this is just leading up to our chance to start live streaming, where we'll do our craps tournament with our fans participating. Probably do a patron-only live stream craps tournament as well. Then add in some blackjack, pai gow, baccarat, whatever we can think of, and probably have a continuous craps tournament going at all times. Live stream is going to give us so many options we can do. Shout out to Wes and everybody else that's given us a super chat, super sticker tip on these live chats. It's always appreciated. Just like all of our patrons, we appreciate all those tips and support, and we hope you guys are enjoying those exclusive videos that we're putting out for you guys. Now that we're starting to put out the entire dice class, 2 videos a week, we hope you guys are enjoying it. And otherwise, we're going to go straight into today's video. So for today's video, I want to answer a question that was sent to me, or that was asked of us on the last live chat, and that was about center action and some ways of paying center action when you're on a $25 minimum bet table. Because the thing about a $25, most, not all, but most $25 minimum bet tables is that the center action goes from a $1 minimum up to a $5 minimum. And again, that's not every $25 minimum bet table. In fact, just the other day I dealt on a $25 minimum bet table where we still allowed $1 on the inside. But most of them, a lot of them, especially on the strip or downtown, if they get bumped up to $25, they're going to make the center action a $5 minimum. And this can not confuse some dealers, but as limits start going up, as minimum bets start going up, just the additional dollar amount starts to add a little bit of subtle pressure inside the brain to where the payouts suddenly start becoming more difficult, even though they're basically the same. Like nothing has actually changed when it comes to the payouts. Just now that you're dealing in larger dollar amounts, it starts to, it's almost like nerves start to set in for some people. You see it a lot with newer dealers when they get into green and then especially black action. And then experienced dealers when they start dealing in thousands, 5,000s, 10,000s, stuff like that, because they know there's a lot more eyes on them. So you kind of start to tense up and so on and so forth. So some ways of speeding up payments. Well, the first thing I want to cover is not quite what that question asked, but something that is not really thought of very often by dealers, but can be very, very useful. And that's when you start dealing with green. When you start dealing with green bets and green checks, it can start throwing things off, start making things a little bit more challenging for people. And I'll see it with stuff, especially when I see things like a 12 or an aces or even a $75 three-way crap. Okay, or could even go so far as to look at a $100 horn bet. Although a $100 horn bet actually has a key that's really simple. So I'll stick with, say, the three-way crap. Right. So now let's say a 12 rolls. So if the 12 rolls, well, there's a couple of different ways that you could do this. The first one that is probably the least efficient would be to use the key. If the 12 rolls, you're looking at a key of 9 times the bet plus a third of the bet, or you could also do 10 times the bet minus 2/3 of the bet. So you could do 10 times this, which would be $750, because you have 75, just add a 0, minus 2/3 of the bet, which is $50. You get down to $700. That's pretty easy. Like that'd be a quick, simple way of doing it. The thing that will throw some people off is that when we're dealing with dollars, even fives, we actually start to look at the individual bets. And so someone may look at this and go, okay, well, I've got 25 times 30, then minus these 2. That can get a little bit tricky for people. What I recommend when you start dealing with green is to start thinking, continue thinking in dollars. Keep thinking in dollars. Think of instead of dollar amounts though, now you're just thinking in units. You're thinking in units so that each green check is 1 unit. And what I mean by this is if I wanted to do the whole 30 for 1, then minus the losing bets kind of thing, I would, and there is a different way, by the way, and I'm going to show you that when I show you how to do these payouts really fast. But I would look at this and go, okay, well, one of these wins 30 of them, minus 2 to keep these 2 up, or it's 31 of them minus all 3 to keep it up. Either way, I get to 28 of these chips. I know a $3 one would pay $28. So in this case, I'm looking at 28 of these chips. 28 of these chips is really, really simple because you know 20 is a stack. So you already know that you need 500 plus another 8 chips. That's $700. I've actually seen somebody pay something that was in green and just look at the dealer and say, cut out 41 green chips. They could have real quickly just said, okay, cut out 1,025. But for whatever reason, their brain just locked and they said, screw it, just cut out 41 of these chips because that's the payout. So when you start dealing with green, you can actually just think of them in individual units. This is 1 unit. So instead of paying in dollars, you're paying in units, but it's the same thing. You would pay this just like you would pay a $3 one. $3 one, if a 12 rolls, you know it pays 28 bucks. So in your head, you go, okay, give them 28 green chips. Boom, done. Now, for the original question was how do I pay center action fast, especially when people have multiple bets up and we're at a $5 minimum table. Now this person specifically mentioned side bets. Side bets such as the all tall, all small, make 'em all, or repeaters, fire bets, things along those lines. So we'll go with the all tall, all small, make 'em all. Right now, I don't have that up here on this particular layout, and we want to make this kind of challenging. So I'm going to put it over here, and let's just say the person has 252. Okay, you're kind of more likely to see 525, but either way, it's going to be a little bit odder than say just 555 or 111, something along those lines. I want to do something a little bit weirder, I suppose. And then let's say they maybe have some hard ways that are working, because why not? And then to protect everything, they do a $15 three-way crap. Okay? So they have a $15, or not three-way crap, three-way 7. So they have a $15 three-way 7, and their idea is that protects everything. Okay? Now, let's say, because some people will do this, something hits and they will assume that you're leaving up all of their action, including the losing stuff, plus they decide they want to press something. Okay? So let's say that if this happened to hit, the person would decide to press all of these bets right here. They would press the let's say they would press the hard ways and their any 7. Okay, that's pretty reasonable here. So first, I'm going to cover the quickest, easiest way to pay this. Oh, you guys can't even see that three-way 7. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, three-way 7. So they have a three-way 7 plus they have their 2, 5, 2, and then they have all the hard ways, and those hard ways happen to be working. Right, and it's a come out roll. And let's say a 7 rolls. So 7 rolls. So first, let's just say we just want to keep up all their actions. So a 7 rolls. So real fast in my head, I'm looking at this and I'm going, we've got $44 in total action. This would pay $80 and down. So it's 80 minus 44. So give the player $36. That would be my quick way of doing that. Now I would do it in my head, and I would do it a lot faster than I could even talk, because I would go, okay, 20, 35 plus 9 is $44. They have $44 in total action. If we took all their bets down, whichever 7 rolled would pay $80 and down if we took everything down. So they have $80 total to work with to keep everything up. So in my head, I'm going, okay, 44, 80 minus 44, give the player $36. Give that player right over there $36 and still up on all their action. Done. Now what if they say, I want to press all of my hard ways and I want to press my three-way 7. So at that point, now I'm looking, okay, we've got 30 here plus 40 here. That's $79 in total action. So they would say, okay, I want to press my three-way red and I want to press my hard ways and keep everything else up. I would say, okay, go ahead and give that player $1. Because I would go, okay, 30 plus 40, $79, 80 and down, give the player $1. possibly even more likely is they would just press the 7. At first, if the 7 rolls and they win, a lot of players may just press the winning bet. So let's say they just pressed just the 3-way 7. So 7 rolls and they say, press my 3-way 7, leave everything else the same. Okay, cool. That's $30, $59 in total action. Give the player 21 bucks because it's 80 and down. They have $80 to work with. So 80 bucks minus 59, give the player 21 bucks. So then this immediately goes to 30. So everything just doubled. Now let's say it hits again, and they say, you know what, this time around, I want to press all of my hard ways and press my 7. So 7 rolls again. Okay, now this time around it'd be 160 and down because they have $10 on each one of the 7s and they pay $16.41. So it'd be $160 if we took everything down. So they tell me they want to press any 7 by $15, press all the hard ways by $5 each. So I need to real quickly calculate that up. Okay, so we're looking at $40 here plus 45. That's $85 plus 9. They have $94. They have $94. They have 160 to work with. So go ahead and give that player $66. Pay him $66, keeps him up on all of his action. Plus we are pressing the any 7 and we are pressing the hard ways. Oftentimes the fastest way of paying is to keep in mind how much the bet would pay if we took it down. So let me give you some examples in some other areas. Okay, we'll take out this side bet. So let's say we've got a come out roll and the player doesn't really want to do a horn, wants to do something similar though. So let's say they do, or actually I've seen some really odd things. So let's say let's say the player does a $10 world and sure, let's do the hard ways again. Do the hard ways again. And they decided they wanted to put an extra $5 on the yo. Okay? And then just to protect everything, they do a $10 any 7. Okay, that protects everything. All right, so they've got some weird little bets here. $10 world, I'll put that right over here. $10 any 7, all the hard ways, and a $5 yo. So now, let's say whatever hits, they want to press that particular bet and only that bet. They want to keep all their action up, but they want to press that particular bet and only that bet. So let's look at it. So let's say a 12 rolls. Okay, so let's say a 12 rolls. Well, these aren't affected. So the only things that are affected are these 3 bets right here. The any 7, the world, and the 11. Those are the only ones that are either going to come down or win money. So what I'm going to look at is I know that this right here pays $52, but what I can actually do is understand that I have $2 on the 12, so it pays $62 if I took everything down. If all their bets came down, we would say give that player $62. So they have $62 to work with. So then I'm going to go, okay, they've got $62 to work with. They have 25 action, but they're going to want to press the world up to 20. Right? They want to press the world because that's the one that hits. So they want to press the world up to $20. They have $62 to play with, and they have $35 right here in action. Give the player $27. I would go 62 minus 30 is 32, minus 5 is 27. Pay the player $27. That is the fastest way to pay it. And in my head, I would do that even quicker than I could speak, so it would have come out. It would have flowed very, very smoothly. Although there's a really good chance that by the time it even came out of my mouth, the payouts are, depending on which dealer is on that side, the payout may already be cut out and waiting for me to say, go ahead and give them that much. So let's say this has happened. Now, what is the next thing that happens? Okay. Well, actually, let's say we gave the player $22 because in a situation like this where they press it up, they actually need to press up the any 7 in order to be able to cover everything. Because right now at a $10 any 7, now that they have pressed things up, if a 7 were to roll, they would actually be $5 shy. This any 7, oh no, I'm sorry, they would be good. No, they just leave this alone. All right, they don't need to press it up yet. So now let's say a 7 rolls. So if a 7 rolls, they're going to want to press up to it. They're going to want to press the 7, keep everything else up. Okay, so they're going to want to press the 7 up to a $20 any 7. So the first thing I need to look at is what do they have to work with? Well, if the 7 comes down, they have $50 to work with. $50 to work with. What do they have that lost? just these hard ways and this yo, because a world bet is a push on a 7. That's where I started to make a mistake. I was going so fast. Worlds are a push. So these 5 bets right here would lose. Okay? But they also want to press this up. So they have $50 to work with, but they want to make $45 worth of bets. They want to keep $45 worth of stuff up, so pay the player $5. Boom, done. Okay, now, let's say we're on this come out roll, because this is very plausible. I actually had something like this happen not too long ago, where I had just an extremely long come out roll. It was about 10 minutes. In fact, this was earlier today. It was absolutely crazy. And so this is actually plausible, something like this happens. So now let's say an 11 rolls, because now an 11 is going to get a little complicated, right? So if an 11 rolls, what's going to happen? Well, they want to press everything that is affected by the 11, which is going to be this yo bet, and it's also going to be this world. That world is also going to be affected, right? So the first thing I want to know is, what do they have to work with, right? So what do they have to work with? Well, this would pay 80 and down. They have $4 on the 11 out of there, so that's $64. So they have $144 to work with. $144 to work with, and they want to do some presses. So they want to press this up to 40. They want to press this up to 10. So they have 144 to work with, and how much are they spending? They're spending 20, 60, 70. Give the player $74. $144 to work with, but they have 70 action right here. Give them $74 because this was not affected by the 11. So let's look at a different scenario that comes up within the hard ways. We'll see this kind of stuff happen all the time. People have been slowly just tossing money out at the hard ways, maybe. And what is a quick way to deal with this when a player wants to press? Okay, I'm going to show you first one way of doing it, and then I will show you how I would do it. Because the first way I'm going to show you would work if all of these were nickels. If you didn't have like a rainbow bet or multi, where they're all different. Because this can happen. This can definitely happen where they're all different bets. If they're all the same bets, I would go with the first method. But here's the first method. Let's say a hard 6 rolls, and the player looks at their bets and goes, man, they're all different. You know what? Or let's say hard 8 rolls. Okay? Let's say hard 8 rolls. And they look at it and they go, oh, man, that's kind of a mess. Let's just make all of my bets look like $10. Make all of my hard ways look like 10 each. Okay, cool. That's pretty easy. Okay? So I'm going to look at this and go, okay, I've got $80 to work with. Okay, because this pays. If I were to take this down, it would be 80 and down. Right? So I have $80 to work with, plus, and you have to add all of this in, plus 12, so we've got 92, we've got 103, we've got $109 to work with. They want to make everything look like $10 each. They have $109 to work with. They want 40 in action. So we're going to have to give this player $69. Pay this player $69. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Or let's say they said, I want to make everything look like $20 a piece. Again, they have $109 to work with, and now they want to do 80 actions. So give the player $29, and we make everything look like $20. Okay. Now, that's how I would do it if everything were the same, or especially if everything were nickels or something. But what I would actually do with something like this, so the player said, I want everything to look like, make everything look like $10 each. I would say, okay, well, they've got $80 in action. They've got $80 to work with. They want to make everything look like 10. That's 40 in action, so they would have $40 left over. So I would say, okay, give the player $40 plus all that. And I would just hand it to the dealer, who could then add it to the $40 and hand it off. And then I would set everything up. Okay. Or if they wanted to go to $20 each, I would say, okay, cool, give the player this, and I would set up $20. So I hope this answers the question. If not, please let me know via email, and I'll be happy to expand upon it. And thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you find this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, or just plain fun. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.